riding down Highway 61. Sides of the roads all lined with fields, nothing but sunset in the windshield. Feel it as soon as I ride into town. This is where I go to slow down. Miles and miles of soybeans and corn. I'm in the place where the blues was born. About a mile from the big muddy river, place I'll always remember. Cabin on the lake and a fishing pole. Forever here I'll rest my soul. I can feel my worries drift away from being out in the sun all day. No matter where in the world I go, I'll always find home on the banks of that oxbow.
All right, guys, we're back here with the Green Machine.
Yeah.
He's talking about kidding up some small baits. Y'all was talking about small baits. What was y'all talking about small baits about? How everybody's downsizing?
Yeah,
now?
everybody's downsizing. We did really well on Truman this year. We put a hurt on a lot of people, and we'd have them come up to us afterwards and like, "What are you guys doing?" And for a while, we're doing the same old. We take our baits off before we go to the weigh-in so nobody could look and stuff. But we use these Freaky Frank's worms, guys out of Indiana. And when I first saw them, there's no way I would have ever put that on a hook. I actually told her, I said, I'll never use those.
Right.
Really?
Throw it in the closet.
Yeah. And then the guy gave me some.
Can I open this?
Yeah. And I put them on a hook. Oh my God, they're crazy. The fish just cannot resist. And I know that sounds crazy, but that's his catch line.
It's like a devil tail.
And I'm telling you, they cannot resist that bait. The short biting fish eat it. The hard bite fish eat it, and it's always in their mouth. You don't hardly ever lip catch them with it.
Yeah.
I think it's tough,
What
too.
colors they got? How many colors?
They have. I should have brought the book. He has several different colors, and some of them have the body is one color, and then the tail is a different color.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like white and pink, and chartreuse and pink, and I mean just a lot of colors. And
then he makes a solid one too, like that one where it's all one color.
Yeah.
What was the best color on Truman this year?
Hot yellow.
Hot yellow.
I'm
He's
just blowing
lying.
to you.
Purple.
It's purple.
Purple.
Like a
Yes.
June bug
He's
purple.
Yes, it was purple.
Fishermen don't lie.
Never.
There was also like a shiny blue color. It was almost see-through, and then a white tail called Somerville.
Somerville?
Somerville.
Somerville.
Yeah.
Another thing that he does too, and I would have never been smart enough to rig it. He sent us one rigged, and he makes tube jigs too. And he puts the tube jig on a hook like you normally would,
Right.
and then laces a different color worm up under that tube jig.
Right.
Mark Twain Lake this year, we taught some people something there, because we used a root beer jig with a white tail, and then put a blue worm underneath
And
it.
then you just see the bottom part of this is all that hangs
Unreal.
out. Yeah.
Yep.
Is anybody
Unreal.
selling them here? Is there
No.
anybody here?
I don't
Grizzly
think-
carry them?
No, I
Grizzly
don't
does
think
not carry
so.
them yet. He's got them online.
Right. And if you put in green 20 in the promo code, you can get 20% off.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
We talked about y'all closing the first episode there about Hummingbird. Tell us a bit, how long y'all been on the Hummingbird side?
3 years.
3 years.
Yeah.
Y'all enjoying that? Pretty cool?
Yeah.
Getting
yeah.
a lot of what's coming out before everybody else status, or what?
I don't
Not so much there. I mean, we're nobody to them. We're crappie fishermen, and I shouldn't say it that way because they have treated us great.
Yeah.
I mean, if we have any trouble, we call, and I mean, they're right on it, and they make a great product. But they keep everything that's coming out pretty hush hush.
Do they?
I mean, yeah.
What are y'all
Sure.
running on your boat right now?
Go ahead.
Okay, we got
That's your deal.
Solix. We
You
run
got
Solix.
Solixes?
Yeah,
12?
Solix 12. Yeah.
Really? I heard that's
Yeah.
pretty sweet.
I like it. It's a little heavy. Up on the front, I raise my graph up super high, so you turn a 12 into a 22. Because it's closer to my face. I can't
You got
see
them
anymore.
bifocals out yet?
Not yet,
Not
but it's,
yet.
it's
That's
getting
next
close.
week.
Yeah,
Next
next
week.
week maybe.
It'll be green.
Yeah, green.
You're obligated to get green, you know that.
Yeah, probably so.
You should see our closet. It's all green.
Is it all
Everything's
green?
green.
So let me guess.
My nails green.
I've got a question, about getting out there and, going back to our roots as far as starting out fishing tournaments, what would you advise somebody, a good basic unit to buy from Hummingbird to get out there and really start getting into crappie fishing?
That's probably a lot of questions you get in seminars, I bet. Man.
We get a lot of questions, and the common question is, how big a graph should I buy?
Right.
You buy as big a graph as it will fit your wallet.
That's right.
So, if you can only afford a 7, get a 7. Don't ever stretch it. Don't overspend. But the larger screen you can get, the better you can see objects when you zoom in, of course, on your side scan and all. But
How would you recommend somebody getting out there and learning these units?
YouTube has a lot of very helpful videos,
Mm-hmm.
and the ones that do step-by-step with the graph. I know he's spent a lot of time new graphs in the past. Take your laptop out to your boat, set it on the boat, sit in front of your graph, and do step-by-step what they're doing in the video. And that's the easiest way. Do it over and over again so that when you get on the water, it's second nature. You know what you're doing.
I always tell people, if you're going to work on your electronics, either do it in the garage when you can't fish, it's nasty outside, or go to the lake,
No problem.
but do not take your fishing stuff
Exactly.
because you're going to fish. It's just in us.
me.
Yep.
It's funny you said.
Exactly.
I did that one time in my life when I first I got the Hummingbird side imaging on, and that's what you need to do.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
If you want to learn, you just got
Yep.
time
Yeah.
on the water. That's
It is.
I don't know how many
Okay.
thousands of hours we all have sitting behind a graph, just watching, trying to learn and read, and it's not something you're born with. You got to learn it.
Is there anything before y'all got on the Hummingbird staff that just kind of blew y'all's mind when y'all got on? Like, man, I didn't know that. Just any kind of tip that you can give anybody, or anything like that?
About Hummingbird?
Yeah, about Hummingbird, about the electronics. Maybe you didn't know about that. It was just something like, man, I didn't think about that, or anything at all.
I don't
That
know.
would have been good to have a warning on that question.
I don't know. Once we got on with Hummingbird, I learned a lot more with the 360 interpretation and that stuff, and it was just I just spent a little more time looking at it and learning it is all it was. But I don't know, just the processors and stuff like that they use. We learned a little more about once we got with them.
Mm-hmm.
They taught us a little more about that. But
Hummingbird puts on a lot of free seminars too. You can go to any boat dealer that sells Hummingbird, and they generally have at least 1 or 2 seminars a year. You go in, and they'll update your graph for you. They'll go through your graph, and then they take you on the water in your boat with your graphs and go through your stuff, and it doesn't cost you a dime.
yeah, it's free.
It's free.
It's all morning or all afternoon, and they'll work with you on your graph.
Yep.
Is as far as electronics goes, I tell my kids, just like the iPhones and the phones we got at the house, how important it is for the anglers that have these high-end electronics. Is it for them to upgrade it, update it, wherever you want to do it, soft grade, update it? How important is that what y'all know is?
It's very important to update it. I mean, if you're not going to use it to its full capability, there's no reason to spend the money on it, But I would say 50% of the fishermen out there that have these graphs don't use half of what they can do.
How many updates do they come out with? A lot of updates through the year?
It kind of depends.
Yeah.
If they're having issues with something, and it's mostly fishermen. If you're having a problem with your graph and you don't let Hummingbird know what's going on, they don't know to fix it because they're not out on the water. They're developing products, you know. So if the fisherman doesn't let Hummingbird know that, hey, man, my mapping isn't working well, they don't know they have a problem. First off, but I think 5 to 6 updates a year is pretty average.
And it's pretty easy. Go ahead and tell them how that's done, because I'm sure a lot of them don't even know. You just pretty much just.
There's an app. They have an app.
Boss here.
Yeah, absolutely.
They have an app that you download, and it's Android or Apple, either one, and you just update it from your phone is the easiest way to do it.
Really?
So you'll
Bluetooth
it from your unit and hook it to your phone, and then you find your unit and update it from there. It'll tell you if you have an update available, and you just do it from your phone.
So you don't have to go on your computer.
You don't have to.
You can do it on your phone.
Yes.
It's on your boat.
You can do it on your computer and download it to an SD card and load it.
It's just a lot more steps to do than if you just.
You can
hit a
actually do
button.
it on the water with your phone. If you have good enough signal. So
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's pretty
That is
easy.
awesome. Is there anything else you want to add? Kind of talk about? We'll kind
Anything
of close
for-
it out.
talk about for their 2020s coming out, new products?
Nope.
Nothing we can.
They have a new depth finder coming out, the Apex. So they'll have a whole nother kind of line, I guess, of depth finders coming out. And then they have
I
the
didn't
new.
know that.
Yeah, they have the new Raptor, which is the shallow water anchor, in 8s and 10s, right?
8s and 10s.
8 foot and 10 foot. So they have those already out. So they're shipping those now if you want one of those.
Is there something different about it that's not out there that you can maybe curious to tell us about it?
It's lighter than
It's lighter.
anything out there and quieter than anything out there.
And it's bottom sensing like the Talons were, to where it can tell a hard bottom from a soft bottom. It won't drive all the way down and get suctioned in like other products on the market.
Yeah.
So it's a little better at the bottom sensing. It has a larger cylinder on it with a little more power,
Yeah.
and it's got a higher pressure pump.
Really? Apex.
Yes.
So is that going to be like a Solix type deal or above?
I don't know the difference.
Don't know on that?
We haven't had our hands on one yet.
Right.
You know, we've just got some of the literature. Of course, you know, like they always do, faster processors and
Right.
such. But we haven't really put our hands on one, so we couldn't really lead you in a direction on that.
Curious question. Since y'all on their pro staff, do y'all get first dibs at the stuff that comes out first?
I wouldn't say first dibs.
Well, I mean, like you
But
get,
yeah,
you get
I mean,
it pretty much first shot.
we really don't.
You really
no.
don't.
Nope.
All right.
No.
Anything else you want to add, Brad, before we kind of
You
close
know,
out here?
I want to go back to just the beginning fisherman or beginning couple. You know, what would be a good starter unit to get out there and put them on their boat, their new Phoenix, to say the crappie fish.
I think a 10.
A 10.
10 seems like a good
Helix,
unit.
probably.
And a Helix. Helix it's a very good unit. It's been around a long time,
versatile.
so all of the bugs have been worked out of it. I think they're on Gen 4 now.
Yeah.
They just come out with the Gen 4s, and if you have a problem with it, you can pretty much find someone at any boat ramp
Right.
that has one that can say, hey, you need to do this or need to do that.
Some of these units now are very technical. It takes a lot of time to figure them out,
And-
people want to know what's a good basic unit for them.
And I think
Yeah.
that's something about Hummingbird that's good is, I mean, if the first time I ever sat down in front of one, the menus are pretty basic.
Right.
You can get into the menus and navigate and get out of them, and it's not a big ordeal.
Yeah.
So they're pretty easy for people to run, I think, for the
I
first
agree.
time.
I agree with you.
So,
And people don't need to panic either, because, I mean, you can push all the buttons you want in the world, but you can always factory reset right there and reset it back to the factory, and it doesn't delete your waypoints or your trails. You know, so if you're on the water and you push a bunch of buttons and get it messed up, you just go and hit the factory reset, and it'll take it back to new, and then you start over. So,
Yeah.
Touch back on your tournament fishing history when it comes to being a couple. What would be a suggestion that you would say, hey, somebody that's thinking about doing it, their husband and wife, what would be a good starting place for them, avenue, or what would be one of your number one suggestion for those folks?
buy good rain gear.
Good rain gear.
I think that's
What would be it?
simple.
yeah.
I'm serious.
What are you using? Because ladies are different. I mean, as far
Yeah.
as even rain gear, I would think.
Yeah, we have like the Bass Pro Shop 100 mile an hour
Right.
gear. We're probably due for some new stuff right now, but
Yeah. Most people, fishermen, we had frog togs when we started,
Right.
but when you're just going fishing and it starts raining like crazy, you put your rain gear on and you go to the ramp and you load your boat. Well, when you're in a tournament, you put your rain gear on and you sit in it
Like
and
a
you
Grenada?
continue. Yeah.
like a grenade.
Yeah, and you continue
And
to
every
fish,
tournament
so,
since then.
Yeah.
Everyone.
Yeah.
You probably got. What was you wearing on that day?
Frog togs.
Frog togs.
You probably said, I don't care what it costs. I'm getting a rain
I'm
suit.
telling you what. After that, it was on. I'm like, I don't
Yep.
care if we buy anything else. That's what we're buying.
I think we had them within a week.
Yes.
So you're basically saying a good set of rain gear.
Yes.
Probably rain boots as well, I would have.
And boots. Yes, boots.
Yep. We keep when it's
Yes.
supposed to rain, we have rubber boots in the boat, and I'm a big one on a motorcycle helmet.
Yeah.
When I'm driving the boat and it's raining, I can see and it doesn't fog up, and it's got a pop-up face on it, and it costs me like $35.
Right.
And
Cut that
it's
cold
just
wind too.
it does, and
Yes.
it's safer, because I can see what's going on. You try to drive a boat in the rain with sunglasses, they get all dotted. It just it's dangerous.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Get
Yeah.
me a motorcycle helmet.
There you
It's
go.
awesome.
Hey, I bet you can't guess what color mine is.
green.
It is green. It
it's
is.
like it's this color green.
You got a decal on it?
No, I don't.
we
Oh,
should
you
I
do
need
don't.
a
that.
decal on it.
Like a Steelers helmet.
Yes.
On
Yes.
one side.
Yes.
There you
One
go.
side. There we go. I'll
Oh
go with
my
that.
gosh.
What do you think you want to add before we close out?
No, this has been fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been real
Appreciate
fun.
it.
Yeah, no
Yeah.
Check
problem.
out the
brother.
Green
Yeah, we had a
Machine,
good time.
guys. I mean,
Yeah.
it sounds
Oh.
like y'all have a lot of fun together.
Plug your Facebook and your Instagram.
Oh yeah,
and your,
yeah. So follow us on Facebook, The Green Machine on Facebook. Twitter is @GreenBoatGirl. And
That's her, not me.
in case you're wondering.
Yeah.
And then Instagram is The Green Machine Team.
That's
Awesome.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, I'm Justin Berry,
Brad
Yeah.
Chapel.
a.k.a. The Green Machine
Yeah.
here.
Yes, sir.
Holly and Jackie Linton. We'll catch y'all later.
All right.
Thanks.
Holla.
About a mile from the big muddy river, a place I'll always remember. Cabin on the lake and a fishing pole. Forever here I'll rest my soul. I can feel